Welcome back, guys. Hunting season's over. It's late January, almost February. I'm still in the process of cleaning out my truck. All of September, October, November, and December. Some of January is just like a push to be in the woods at all times that I can. So I spend the month of January and into February cleaning up my stuff, getting ready for fishing season. But one thing remains the same. I want to share with you guys how I store and prepare my clothes. It's simple. I just have this Primos bag. I don't make any money from Primos or anything like that. It's just the one that I bought years ago and I still have it. Several companies make a bag that you can store your clothes. Some of them are carbon lined, some of them are not. I don't think that's as important. However, I think it is important that you store them in a place that doesn't have a lot of scent associated with it, so I'll keep mine out in the garage throughout the year. But the main thing is how you treat them throughout the year makes a bigger difference, right? We're going to talk about scent control. We're going to talk about cover scents versus trying to be scentless, which I don't think you can really do. Most importantly, playing the wind. But today I'm going to go through how I wash my clothes, how I store my clothes, how I dry my clothes, and kind of the thought process behind all of it. So, hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, we're at the washer. This is the brand that I use. I don't sell this product, or I'm not a representative or anything like that. This was probably just the cheapest one at the time. But the two things I'm looking for is that it's odorless, which if you buy a scentless laundry detergent, it will be. But when you want to make sure that it's also equally important that it doesn't contain UV brighteners. I'm going to link some information to a study, I'll show you on the page, the University of Georgia did about the way deer see. They shined a light through a deer's retina and studied all kinds of interesting stuff. But we'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. But for now, I literally, everything that I'm going to wear for hunting season goes in here. All right, my undergarments, my socks, my beanie. People ask me, is it okay to wash carbon clothes in here? You want to make sure that whatever detergent you're using is safe for carbon clothes. We're gonna add about a capful. One thing that I like to do is, because we use powder detergent, I'll pull this little tray out and I wash it really well to make sure there's no powder residue on here. I already did that before the video just to save some time. Slide it back in there. Let them wash. We'll get on to the next one. All right, y'all, next step, simple. Put your clothes in there. Make sure your dryer lint thing is empty. You don't want to have residue from your previous cycle in there. Make sure that you don't have a dryer sheet in here. They do sell dryer sheets that are scentless. I've used them before, but I don't think it's a big issue for me because I'm going to put these in a bag anyways. They're probably going to lose static. But it is important, especially if you're using carbon clothing, to make sure your dry temp is all the way up on high. And I say that because the heat is what gets rid of the smell in the carbon suit. It releases stuff from the carbon. So if you're using carbon, make sure your dry temp is on high. If it's not, use whatever cycle you normally use. Just make sure you've got the dryer lint cleaned out and you don't have a dryer sheet. All right, everything's dry. All we gotta do is put it in our scent lock bag, which this is not a scent lock bag, but it's just a Primos bag for scent control. It's only used for my hunting clothes. I realized that I could not use one hand and put this stuff into my bag, but it's that simple. We'll get this zipped up. We'll store it in a spot where it doesn't have a lot of scent around. I'll put it out in my garage. It's probably where I'll put it. So one thing I always like to tell people, I don't think that you can be scentless to a deer. I don't think it's really possible. I know a lot of the gimmicks for selling scent lock are forget the wind, just hunt. But I think the most important factor when hunting whitetail deer, and probably most other deer species, is scent, being aware of where your scent's going and where the deer are coming and going from. I do use a scent lock coverall suit most of the year. Just for added bonus. I think it helps reduce the amount of scent that I'm putting out into the air. But another option is realizing that you can't be scentless, so you use cover scents. I'm not a huge fan of cover scents. I'm not a huge fan of adding any scent to myself. But one thing that I will do is when I get to my tree in the morning, when I'm going to climb up, I'll just take my foot and just scrape out the basin of the tree just to expose fresh soil. One thing is, I think deer are very curious to the scent of fresh soil. Obviously, deer make scrapes all the time, but lots of animals disturb the forest floor when they're moving, and deer are very curious by nature. So, by disturbing the soil around the base of my tree, it provides a form of a cover scent. When a deer comes into my area that may be downwind of me, which I hope doesn't happen, but if it does, it may buy me a little bit more time. Just like that carbon suit that I might be wearing. I don't think it'll solve the problem, but it might buy me a little bit of extra time or earn a little bit more trust. At the end of the day, the most important thing that you can do is hunt with the right wind direction. I know people have limited time to hunt and they may only have 2 or 3 stands, but if you want to more frequently see deer and kill deer, the wind is the most important thing that you can pay attention to. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now you know how I store my stuff. There's a lot of ways to do it. That's just how I do it, but I keep my clothes in this bag year round. I use them for turkey season, deer season, for whatever, but they only get washed with that clothes wash. I don't ever use any kind of other detergents or anything like that, and they stay in the bag year round.